Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Black Ham Radio University. Me and my man, yo, I'm gonna start. Yo, look, y'all. Let me just say this. I usually don't do this on at the beginning of the show, but let me tell you, man. Me and Terrence got on, man. It was just like one thing after the other with this audio and these little issues we had, man. But we did it. We got through, man.
Oh man, we made it, brother.
Yo, that was the battle right there, fam. Like that was the battle right there, man. Everything else is breezy, easy after this, man. So yeah, welcome to Black Hand Radio University. This is this is our first show on the Black Radio the Black Ham Radio University Facebook group. We are streaming on the Black Ham Radio University Facebook group. We are streaming on the Black Ham Radio University YouTube page, which is the same YouTube page that we previously streamed on. So we ain't gonna waste no time, man. We just gonna get right into it. Today we're gonna talk about delta loops. Now let me tell you, let all my Greek deltas out there. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm a Sigma. You see what's let me move this mic. You see that Sigma shit? You see that Sigma stuff back there, right? I'm not trying to disrespect you, deltas. Look, it's just what it's called. Delta Mike. Well, I'm not throwing up that Delta sign today, all right? So that is, I just want to get some love. Yeah, I just want to get some love from the Deltas, man. It ain't nothing like that. We ain't doing that. I guarantee you, it's no disrespect. That's just the name of the loop. That's just the name of the antenna. All right. So we're gonna talk about talk about Delta loops, man. But first, man, I gotta introduce my guest. The brother's been part of my ham radio experience, helped me grow. Along with everybody in the Buckaroos, the Dream Team, y'all, we gonna throw a plug in for that. I got more plugs than the dad going TV and radio going into a wall. But look, we gonna talk about that. But I got my man WQ0X, and this is my man Terrence. He's an amateur extra, and he does his thing, man. Has been extremely helpful with helping me and helping anybody. If you need his help, man, he's there, Brother Terrence, what's going on, my brother?
Well, what's going on, brother? Hey, listen, man, I'm just happy to be here, brother, in any way that I can, man. I just love this hobby. It's a fascinating hobby. And we do some great things, man. I'm enjoying this here too, man. This Black Ham Radio University experience, man, is just like phenomenal for me. So I appreciate you even AA reaching out, man, and letting me come on your forum, man. I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
No doubt, man. Glad we can do it. And remember, y'all, we on the YouTube channel too. So if you want to chat, you can chat. I'll bring some of your comments in. If you're on the Black Ham Radio University Facebook group, I can bring your comments in too, as long as you give permission. Should ask you for permission first. But let's get started, man. So we're talking about delta loops, man. What the first question I'm going to ask is, what is a delta loop, man?
So a delta loop antenna, basically, man, is good Lord, man. A delta loop antenna is a type of antenna, radio antenna, that is shaped just like we were saying, like that delta. It's shaped like that delta, man. It's in the form of a triangle. It's commonly used for, say, transmitting and receiving radio waves in a high frequency. Okay, and that's the HF bands. The delta loop antenna consists of a closed loop. Okay, so it could be wire or it could be tube, as long as it's all closed in. And that's what makes it so significant, man. Is because it's that one particular run of wire or tubing that's closed in. And we try to make it as equal as we can. That triangle on the three sides. Okay, so each side to be you try to make it as equal as possible. So delta loop antennas, man, it's just a fascinating antenna. It could be mounted vertically, it could be mounted horizontally. So that's kind of like what a delta loop is there.
Okay, all right, yeah, because when I first got into ham radio, man, I was hearing all types of different slangs and delta loop, SWR, stuff like that. I had no idea what any of that stuff was, man. And I prepared these questions for the average person that doesn't know anything about ham radio, that's trying to get into it. So right. I like to, because when I first started, all the questions that I had, like I said, you ask 10 questions, you'll get 11 answers. So
Oh man,
it's
big time.
yeah. So everybody, and you get confused, and everybody just don't know what to do because this person's saying it's not good, this person's saying it's bad. I remember when I put my mobile in my car, they were telling me you shouldn't use this; it's going to mess up your battery. 5 people say that, another 17 people say yeah you can. So it's back and forth, man. But I hope this platform gives everybody opportunity to know what a Delta Loop is, and when we finish anyway. So as far as the Delta Loop, bro, what is it known for? Like is it for like distance DXing, low SWR? What is it known for?
Yeah, it's known for a very low SWR antenna, man. I mean, if you like a good SWR, if you like your SWR to be very low, it typically it's going to give you a very low SWR. It has a good takeoff angle. Uh, these antennas are just they're so versatile, man. It's known in the ham community as it could be a starter type of antenna. So it's a very well known antenna.
Right,
You
right.
know, you know.
So yeah, so we got a Facebook comment here.
hmm
Let me move it up a little bit because you can't see it here. It's a Facebook user. It doesn't identify him. I guess they didn't probably give permission, but it says thanks for providing this educational information. Yeah, no doubt. I'm not sure who this is making a comment. I'm gonna look on over here, but I appreciate that. We appreciate it, man, because like this is for everybody. This ain't for me. This ain't for Terrence. This is for everybody, man. So we appreciate the comments. Um, Now as far as and you mentioned something about the SWR about it being low. Oh, it's
hmm
Charles Smith. Hold on, let me just say something, brother Charles Smith, man. What's going on,
Brother
brother?
Charles
Hey,
Smith.
I think if I'm correct, Charles, I think you got you. Let me just see here because I think he got his extra, man. So congratulations on to Charles. I don't know your call sign, brother. Send your call sign through, man, so I can give you a proper congratulations, man. But congratulations on getting your extra. I believe it was your extra, man. So and he said the Black Hand Radio Operators Facebook group gave him a lot of help with that. So you got
That's awesome.
everybody, yeah. You got two platforms that go hand in hand together. Black Radio, Black Hand. I keep saying Black Radio, Black Hand Radio University, and Black Hand Radio Operators. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, baby. So feel free to go back and forth. Kilo Quebec 4 Hotel Romeo November. That's Charles's call sign. Congratulations, brother, on that. All right. So let's move on, man. I know you say you mentioned something about the the SWR as far
hmm
as it being low. Um, my next question was, do they tend to be higher SWR higher than other antennas? But you pretty much answered that. Is it possible that sometimes does it really vary, or is it that? And I know this is an off the cuff question, but are there any variables? I know there's variables to SWR, but as far as the antenna, if 10 people have a delta loop, uh, how many would have a low SWR? Like as far as if it's set up completely the same.
Yeah. So Delta loop antennas typically exhibit a relatively low standard wave ratio or SWR. So when you properly design and install, say the Delta loop antenna, the SWR is a measurement of how well that antenna is going to be matched, say, to the transmission line and the desired frequency. So it all depends on what's your desired frequency, what bands you want to cover. The SWR, it also indicates poor impedance matching. Okay, so you want to make sure that again that you're on the right frequency, that you have your target frequency that you want to transmit on, and that your length of wire is the proper length so that you could get a good match on your SWR. So things that could happen if you have a high SWR or standard wave ratio type of impedance on your antenna, you could actually damage your radio equipment because you can have RF coming back into your shack and stuff like that. So it's very important to have that SWR as low as you could possibly get it. Um, So yeah, it's it's good to have a less a low SWR
Okay.
on your
All right.
antenna system. Okay.
Now let me tell you, the antenna that I use is an MFJ 1984 Hotel Papa a half wave infrared wire antenna, and it's
Hmm.
resident on like different bands, but I find myself well 40s is like it's the sweet spot. 40 meters is
40 meters.
like
I love 40 meters.
40
Oh,
meters is
40
just like,
meters. Yeah.
man, if I didn't marry my wife first, I would have married 40 meters. I love it that much. So 40 meters, I operate on 40 meters a lot.
Hey, don't let her hear you say that, brother.
Oh, she gone, man. I ain't got look. I married who I want to marry up in this. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Everybody, y'all know she not here. She not here, yo. I can say what the heck I want here, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But
Oh
yo,
boy, you so
so look, man. I operate on 40 meters like go. I try to get on 20 and stuff. It's iffy, man. I don't get on 20 that much. So with this, like the Delta Loop antenna, what frequencies do the Delta Loop antenna operate best on?
So that's the thing. It actually operate on all frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends. It just depends on what bands you want to target. So for instance, okay, a couple things that you could take into consideration when you build a Delta Loop antenna. The property size of your lot, so to speak. Okay, so if you want to get on, say a 40-meter band, it's going to be a larger antenna. So it's going to take up more real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to take into consideration when you start saying, well, what bands, do I want to be on? Because you might not have the real estate for that type of antenna. So typically, let's just say if you want to do 20 meters, it's going to be a smaller antenna. So, but it will operate effectively on all of the HF bands. And that's one of the beautiful things about this antenna, man. With a proper design and tuning of the Delta Loop antenna, you could achieve a very good match SWR. But again, it's important, to construct the antenna so that you understand your property size.
Right.
So with bands, because that's going to dictate essentially to what bands you could transmit on.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you got a big old lot, man, you could build yourself a loop to cover everything from 160 meters all the way up to 6 meters. So it
Mm-hmm.
just depends on how big and how much real estate you have. So one of the things I think too, Andre, is that we as ham operators, especially when we first get into this hobby, we want to think about what bands do I want to transmit on? What bands can I get away with, right? And so again, if your lot is not going to accommodate, say, a 40-meter type of antenna, then you're going to need something that's a little bit smaller. So you could probably get away with a 20-meter antenna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah. Let me
but
ask you this. Oh, you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, but to answer your question, it's a multi-band antenna.
Okay.
It
All right.
covers all the HF bands.
All right. All right. So anybody, you're interested in getting a Delta Loop antenna, you ain't got to worry about my problems. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I'm not down in MFJ, but I'm just saying, it could be more than likely it's something that's going on outside my yard. Because sometimes I have them little birds on the wire. Sometimes I have
Oh yeah.
little squirrels scratching. I got rid of the squirrels. Put some Irish Spring soap out there. They don't even come back. Yeah. Did
Are
you know?
you serious? I didn't know that.
No,
No.
real quick. I'm gonna go off cuff. Right. Look, I go out on my patio. I hear this first. First of all, I'm in my office. Right. There's a patio window right here. Right. So I hear that. Right.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, what's that noise? I open the patio. 2 squirrels having sex on my daggone patio, right?
Oh
So I hit the
man.
window because I'm a blocker.
Oh
I'm a
man.
blocker. Boom! They start running. Now all of a sudden, 7 squirrels come over there, baby squirrels. Like, yeah, I got to get rid of these.
Wow.
Take some Irish Spring soap, cut it up in slices, put it down on the patio. They don't like that smell. It's a smell to them that smells like a forest is burning. It sends some sense to squirrels that the forest is burning, and they stay the hell away from it. And I haven't seen them little bastards since. So
well,
there
hey,
it is.
listen, I gotta go off cuff just a little bit too, because I'm a photographer, right? And for whatever reason, man, I think it was last week, like around Wednesday or Thursday, I was outside on my deck and I was just like drinking my coffee, and I was looking at the trees, and it looked like monkeys, man, running across the trees because the branches was going everywhere, right?
Right,
And I'm like, wow, what's going on out here, right? So wildlife was just off this chart, man. It was just off the chain. Anyway, the squirrels, they must have been in heat, man, because they were everywhere. And then I broke the camera out because I was doing some adjustments with my camera, which is my other hobby, by the way. And I start and lo and behold, man, the squirrels just running across the wires. So I said, okay, let me just take some pictures of these guys. This guy was chasing this female squirrel, and she was holding on to the wire, and he was holding on to her doing his thing, man. I was like, wow. So I have pictures of it too. I'm gonna show it to you offline, man.
That's some real stuff
pictures,
right there.
Man. Yeah, that's off cuff, man. But golly.
Oh man, yo, that's crazy. But Irish Spring gets rid of the squirrels, y'all. Slice it up. A couple other things, but I don't know. I don't want to give false information. And if anybody say that's false, trust me, I've tried it, and they don't come back. They don't. So look, I got a question here. Yeah. But I'm gonna put it up now. Let me just switch this up here so we can see it. All right, it says basically he's talking about the Delta Loop antenna. Can it be set up and taken down and go off the grid and set up due to hurricanes coming to your area and you have to move? That's from Charles from KQ4HRN.
Yeah, Charles, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, man. Yeah, they're very portable, depending on the size. Okay, so naturally you don't want to take, a 40-meter antenna down. I would have a target band, say 20 meters, because the antenna is going to be, relatively smaller. It's not going to be, you're not going to have to take up too much real estate. Or 10-meter type of Delta Loop is easily portable. So yeah, to answer your question is yes. And depending on how high you want to mount it up, above the ground, your structure itself, the pole itself that you're going to have it mounted on, you could easily take that, and move it somewhere else, a telescopic pole, when that's going to collapse. It's so many different ways and variables with this antenna. You could do so many things with a Delta Loop antenna. I mean, it's just a fascinating antenna. And I'm just going to go off the cuff and tell you guys this. Since I've been a ham operator, I have been in search of the magic antenna. For me, the magic is with the Delta Loop antenna. It covers so many different aspects of the hobby. I mean, I could pretty much transmit on any band that I want to transmit on. Any frequency that I want to transmit on, and could I'm working a 40-meter Delta Loop, so my lot size says that I'm able to use or scale my antenna to accommodate 40 meters, which is roughly somewhere about around 138 feet of wire put into the configuration of that triangle. So 100, you take that 138 feet of wire, and is that practical to say make it portable? Because you could easily, depending on, again, the main structure.
Right.
So,
all right.
Hopefully that answers this question.
Yeah. And that's pretty thorough, man. Pretty thorough. I was going to ask. That kind of led into this question. Are those antennas, like Delta Loop antennas, are they difficult to make or kind of create?
No, man. As a matter of fact, I did this here, man. I made it's kind of like a mock-up, right? This is just a little mock-up.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so this here, let's just say this here is your telescopic pole right here. Okay, this is your pole. All right, it's just a pole. This is what you would mount your antenna on. One of the beauties of this antenna is that, man, you only need really one structure, one pole in order to put it up. And I'm gonna show you how you do that, right? So let's just say, for instance, you have your wire to the size that you're looking for. You're gonna come out, and this is your wire. Okay, you're gonna put insulators in there in the middle. Okay, let's see if I can get this here so that you guys can see it, because I have a 10 peg too. Okay, just so that you guys would understand. I don't want to take up too much time here. Let's see, fumbling with this stuff. There we go. But it's ham radio, man. That's what
That's
we do
right.
in ham
That's
radio,
right,
right?
brother. That's right.
So this here, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Okay.
I can see it. I can see it. Yep.
Okay. So this is the delta loop antenna, right? So let's just say, and I got insulators here, okay, to form the triangle. So can you see the triangle?
Yep. Yeah, I
Okay.
can see it.
Okay. So now you put this, you mount this in the ground. Okay, you could dig a hole and you can put that in the ground so that it won't move. And you take your insulators and you pull your wires apart. Okay, and once you pull it apart, it's going to form the triangle. Now you could do it vertically. This will be vertically. This will be horizontal. Okay,
Mhm.
so that and then you can hook this wire here onto a spruce tree. You can hook this wire here onto a spruce, this insulator here onto a spruce tree, but you just have to put your parachute cord between the wire and the insulator.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. So you got your insulator here, but leave it so that it could flex in the wind. Okay. So you want your wire to move freely through this insulator. Okay.
Hmm.
And you put it up like this, and that's going to form the triangle. You take this here and you tie that off onto a tree. Now, all this is right here is parachute cord. Okay. This is 550 parachute cord. And you can tie that off to a tree. Okay. So that it'll form that triangle. Okay. Now, yeah, oh, there you go. There you go. That's even better. So here you got the delta loop there. It's in the form of a triangle. You got your parachute cord coming off. You can hook this onto a tree. Now, if you don't have a tree, okay, you can get it long enough and you just tie a tent peg on it. You get your tent peg and you tie that off into the eye hook of the tent peg, right? And once you tie this off into the eye hook of the tent peg, okay, you take this tent peg and you turn it around and you put this in the ground. You stick that right in the ground. Okay, you step on it, and that's going to add tension to this antenna. So you got that in the ground there, okay, and it's going to form that antenna. Did that make sense? I'm trying to.
Man, it make plenty of sense, man. I'm understand
Okay.
cause I ain't I'm not, look, man. Let me go back to let me go back to myself here. Look, I'm gonna tell all y'all, I didn't know what the hell it was. Honestly, I see it on YouTube. Okay, it's a triangle, delta loop,
Yeah.
whatever. But look, man, that was good. It's good information, man. Definitely
Okay.
good information. But I hope everybody got something from that.
Yeah. It's a
So
fun antenna, brother. It
yeah,
is.
yeah. Let me say what's up to the big homie here. Let me switch it up so we can see his comment here. All right. Deshaun Parker, N3 Delta Delta Golf, Mr. Extra himself. Everybody got extras like except for me, man. Damn,
You're
yo.
gonna get it, brother. You're gonna get it.
Hey, my man Deshaun, man. He's gonna be probably doing the next show with me. I'll be doing the show with the OG, man. This guy's
What's up? What's
guy
up,
been in there.
brother?
Yeah, we gotta get that brother in. He I try to get him into the net in the mornings, but he's a teacher, so and
Got you.
he's kind of behind on with the time zone. So but yeah, man, we're gonna get you on there now, man. We know you off on the summer, man. Ain't no escaping that. We know you off, bro. We're gonna get you on. Let me see. Yeah, yes, can see and demonstrate help. Okay, he said he can see it. It helped a lot. That's good to know, man. Good to know. Good to know.
Deal, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So let me
Hey,
ask you.
congratulations on getting your action
Yes,
too,
sir.
brother.
And brother Parker, he just got his. It wasn't recently, but he did just get it within maybe the last 3 months, maybe. So
Okay.
everybody getting the extra, man. He said. Let me
Oh,
see what
yeah.
they said here. You next. Yeah, it's all good. Good stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna get it, man. I'm gonna get it, man. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it soon. I just
Hey,
gotta.
we always learn in this hobby. That's what I love about it, man. It's always something to do, some way to learn, man. Something to learn, and just pair yourself up with a good Elmer,
Yeah,
or someone.
yeah,
Get it here,
yeah,
right here,
yeah.
Black Ham
Indeed,
Radio University, man. This is how we learn how to do things. So
definitely, bro. Definitely.
it's absolutely fun, brother.
Oh yeah, brother. Deshaun said he got his in February. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nice,
All right, brother.
nice,
All right. So let me ask you. I
nice.
got a couple more questions, man. I want to ask about
Yeah.
this Delta Loop, man. Uh, is it for? Would you say it's for new hams or more for experienced hams?
Hey man, this is an antenna. I tell you what, I was so intimidated, man, when I became a ham operator, especially with experimentation, right? Building an antenna, I was like, do I really want to build it? Do I want to buy it?
Right.
Man, this thing here is for new hams that's getting into the hobby. I mean, you could be a technician, man, and build a 2 meter delta loop, a 10 meter delta loop. It's for whoever wants to be. You could get really elaborate with a delta loop antenna, or it could just be a basic antenna, easy to install on field day. Take it to the park, get yourself some tent pegs, get you one stick, put it in the ground, and you got yourself an antenna, man. And you run your coax cable to the antenna. There's a couple different ways you could do it. You could use ladder line. You could use a 300 ohm ladder line. You could use a balun with ladder line. You could use a balun, or you could just use just plain coax. So it's so versatile, you know what I mean, to use and to employ these type of antennas. But brother, it's for new hams. It's for whoever wants to get on the air quickly and talk. Oh, and let me add too, man. One of the benefits of this antenna is that it's so quiet. It has a very low noise floor. So like your vertical antennas, man, they have a tendency to be kind of noisy, you know. And they are omnidirectional antennas. A vertical antenna is a omnidirectional antenna, and believe it or not, a delta loop is it's an omnidirectional antenna as well. It's going to receive all the way around you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to hear and also transmit in all these different directions, man. So you don't have to worry about, getting a beam system and you got to turn your house around and point your beam
Yeah.
in a specific direction. But it's a very, very quiet antenna. A lot of benefits. So yeah, it's for whoever wants to do it, from your novice ham to your most advanced.
Right. Right. Let me ask you this, man, off the cuff. It
Yeah,
has something to do. So Delta Loop antennas, you pretty much it's like this, right? So
correct.
it goes out, out, and down. Is that correct? As
Yeah.
far as
So
okay.
yeah. So let me just take this off here. It could be in any configuration. It could be a circle. It could be a rectangle. It could be a triangle. It could be a sky loop. The calculations are going to be the same. We didn't get into the calculations yet, but it's all the same. So it could be in the form of a triangle. It doesn't have to be, totally straight. You could configure this thing in any way you want. It could be horizontal. It could be vertical. And any way you want to put this antenna, man, it's just a very versatile antenna. It's very forgiving too. Um, yeah, yeah. So you just
Okay.
have fun with it.
Okay.
Have fun with
All
the
right.
design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. So
The,
yeah,
the,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The most important part is the circumference in the middle of the antenna. The wider that circle, that donut is, the better it's going to perform for you.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
So, you don't want the antenna to be kind of like collapsed in the middle. You want it to be as spread apart as far as you could get it. So if you could get that triangle, do the triangle. If you can't get a triangle and you can only get a rectangle, do the rectangle, you
Got
know?
you. Got you.
So it's a very versatile antenna.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Good information. Good information. So, the next three questions, I think you pretty much answered them as far as Delta Loop is it portable. Um,
yeah, yeah.
okay. So, and you did name some. I was going to ask you what are the advantages and disadvantages, but you named a lot of them. Is there any other advantages and disadvantages that you didn't mention of the Delta Loop antenna?
Yeah, there is actually a slew of advantages versus and disadvantages of the Delta Loop antenna. One of which is that it's an omnidirectional antenna. It's going to receive and transmit in pretty much all directions. The your SWR is going to be is going to be low. Again, you want to make sure that uh, that you build the antenna, to the frequency specifications that you want to transmit on. Again, the omnidirectional radiation pattern of a delta loop antenna is going to radiate pretty much nearly an omnidirectional pattern. That means that it's going to emit and receive signals relatively uh, in all directions. So this characteristic is generally it's going to cover uh, uh, a wide area. So it's just a great antenna, man. You're going to get good gain from it. You're going to probably get between 2 to 3 dB gain over your standard dipole type of antenna.
Right.
A dipole antenna is a little bit noisier than, say, a delta loop antenna. Um,
Right.
it's compact, it's lightweight, broad frequency coverage. These are some of the benefits I think of having a delta loop antenna. A very low noise pickup. So the delta loop antenna is going to offer less. It's going to be less prone to picking up a whole bunch of surrounding noises. So over your average type of antenna, simple constructions, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. All right. Uh, Now here's a question, man. That this is the argument of men, man. The argument of men. When it comes to grounding,
Uh oh.
I had people say, "Oh, you don't need to ground this, but you need to ground that." I don't ground this. I don't ground that. Does a Delta Loop antenna? It's just not Delta Loop antenna. I'm talking about in general, but in
Yeah.
this specific case with Delta Loop antennas, do they need to be grounded?
All antennas need to be grounded.
Say that
All.
again. Say it one more time, man. Because
All.
everybody, please know that.
All antennas need to be grounded, and that's going to offer good grounding. It does so much, man. It's going to keep down the RF static that you could be getting, all of the noise and stuff like that. You ever, RF coming back into your shack if you don't have a good ground on your antennas. So lightning protection. You know what I mean? So yeah, all antennas need to be grounded. That's a must. You should ground all your antennas.
Okay.
That's
All
that's
right.
that's the rule. If you live by that, the philosophy of grounding all of your antennas, just think it needs to be grounded.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What's the price range on for Delta Loop antennas?
Ooh, price range. That's going to vary. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, you go and you want to if you want to you can stay pretty cheap on the cheap end, so to speak. I don't like to say cheap, but less expensive, right? You could go to Lowe's and get you, say, a spool of 500-foot wire. That's going to be really good wire. It's good wire. After about a year, it may fray up on you, but in terms of the conductivity, it's still going to work. So I think it's not as expensive as people would think. I mean, because if you got coax cable already, you're halfway there. All you need is wire, and you get yourself some kind of telescopic mast, something that you could collapse. I brought these military pieces of mass that fit inside each other, so I could constantly just build it up. And
Mm,
if I want to take it down, I just take the 5 foot section out, and it comes down. So I just add sections of it like that, and just build it up, and it shoots straight up in the air. But it's relatively cheap to make a delta loop antenna. I mean, you get a couple insulators from HRO, or you could make your own type of insulators.
mm-hmm.
Um, But you want to get stranded wire, I think, from places like the Wireman or Home Depot, or so it just depends on what type of wire you're going to use, how much money you're going to pay for your wire. It's all about the wire, really.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So look, last question here, man. This is just last question here. There's no
Last question, man.
Yeah, last question, man. Unless if you got some more, but last question, and this is not a right or wrong answer. In your
Right.
opinion, best antenna that you ever had?
Oh man, by far. Me myself, I live by my Delta loops, and I tell you why. Because uh, I do have the real estate for a beam, but I don't want to get into the prospects of my beam freezing over, and Mother Nature taking it down because of inclement weather. It's so expensive to replace a beam antenna. If Mother Nature take my wire antenna down, oh man, well I tell you, I'm gonna have one up probably that same day. I'm gonna rerun that wire. I could go to Lowe's real quick, man, and get my wire, and still be able to transmit on the bands that I choose to transmit on.
Right.
I'm an NCS on the SMS net on Saturday mornings at between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And my antenna, man, I have ears. I can hear pretty much all of the stations that's out there if the conditions are right. Like I say, it's very quiet. You have a very low noise floor. By far, in my opinion, I will always have a Delta Loop antenna now. You know, I'm not trying to take anything away from the beams, because beams, they have their place too. And if you want good directivity where you could turn your house and point in a certain direction, you have that. It's like laser focus, man. And you could cut through a polyp really, really easy. In my situation, I'm listening to everything around me, but the benefits is it's a very quiet antenna. It's economically sound. It's not that expensive. It's easy to build. It just takes a little bit of imagination, and just remember, the size that you want to get, the type of antenna that you want to use. Now, also too, I think we failed to mention too, Andre, is that if you're not sure about the size of antenna, for instance, how you're going to cover a certain band. Okay, so you have to build your antenna. You have to build the antenna to the band, to the frequency, right? So it's the
Right.
frequency is the calculation is this. Okay, if you want to build, say, a 20-meter antenna or a 40-meter antenna, the calculation is 1005. And get your calculator, 1005 divided by the frequency. So if you want to do, say, a 40-meter antenna and you want it to be locked on a specific frequency, let's just say 7.248, for instance, right?
Big up to 248, yo. Big shout out to
Yeah,
248.
yeah. I gotta
Buckaroo
say,
Net.
the Buckaroo Net, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you want to do that, it'd be 1005 divided by 7.248, and it should come up in terms of feet at 138.659, somewhere around there. So roughly about what's that, 130, about almost 139. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So and that would be your antenna, and that should put you smack dab right there on that frequency. So you do the same thing for 20 meters. It'll be 1005 divided by 14.200 or 14.300, or wherever you want to go, 14.295. Or if you want to do 10 meters, it'll be 1005 divided by the frequency, 28 dot, I don't know, 300. And then that's how you get the length of wire that you're going to need for your particular antenna. So,
Right.
the higher the band, the smaller the wire.
I got a question from Charles. I'm gonna put it up in just a minute. After what's crazy? I was trying to figure out the calculations of my, like, a 20-meter antenna that I want to build, and for some reason I kept dividing let me got my phone here. 468 divided by the frequency, and then I would divide it by 2 to let me know how long the wire
Right.
should be on both sides. Is
So
that
now that's a different antenna. So
okay?
different antennas require different calculations.
Got you.
So
Got you.
that's the calculations for I believe a dipole.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad
Okay.
you made that clear because I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I done messed up already. You know,
No,
but we got a
no, man.
question. Yeah, I'm glad you
Just
straightened that out because see, I ain't know that. I didn't
that's
know
a good
that.
question. That's
That's
a good
good.
question,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yep.
That's a very good question.
So
Yeah.
Charles says it says he is telling me he said he's telling me on that being my first antenna, knowing that I can go mobile with it. Yeah, he said Charles said you
Oh,
selling them
absolutely.
on that Delta Loop, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, look at my QRZ page and look at all of the contacts that I have made. And all of my contacts that I have made have been with my Delta Loop antenna. I talk all over the world, brother. I mean, all over the world, Africa, Asia, Ukraine, Europe, you name it, man. Uh, the world is my oyster, and I'm cracking her open.
Indeed, indeed. Got a comment here. It says, uh, Brother Parker, he says, does that calculation length matter whether it's horizontally sloped or in an inverted V?
It doesn't matter, brother. No, now inverted V's now, that's going to be a delta, that's going to be a dipole antenna. Just remember, dipole is just two pieces of wire coming down, right? That's just two pieces of wire that's open. Okay. Now delta loop is that triangle. It's a closed loop. Okay. So, but you could put it into any configuration. It could be vertically, okay, or it could be horizontal. It doesn't matter. Okay. So,
All right.
yeah, yeah,
All
any
right.
configuration. And the calculations are the same. They are the
Same
same.
calculations. All right. So I'm going to
Same
have to refer to
calculations.
this. Yeah. Yeah, you got me thinking I should do a Delta Loop now, man.
Hey,
It
listen.
sounds simple as heck, man. Just like, you know, you know what? The crazy thing is, I know I'm going to go back on this video and I'm gonna be outside with my laptop and I'm gonna pause. Okay, he said do this, then I'm gonna play. Okay, then pause. Like I do that step by step, man. I think I might go ahead and try that, man. Do have the setup for that. I do have the setup for it. I'm in a small space, but for that, there's a tree right next to me, next to my house, man, and it goes up to about. I think that tree is about the top of the tree is maybe 60 feet.
Wow, that'd be perfect as an
Yeah,
anchor point, man. You could,
yeah, yeah.
you if you now check this out, right? We didn't talk about balance too much, and I don't want to get into the aspect of balance too much, but I use what we call a 4-to-1 balance. Okay, and a 4-to-1 balance is also known. Well, it's a electrical device used to match the impedance of a transmission line, so that the load, so that it, so that it basically it converts unbalanced to balanced signal. Okay, so
Mm.
that's kind of like what a balance is used for. A balun is used for. Now, if you use a 4-to-1 balun, okay, then you're going to be able, depending on the size of your antenna. Say, for instance, you build it for 40 meters. You're going to be able to tune 40 meters, 20 meters, 10 meters, and probably even 6 meters, okay, with a 4-to-1 balun, versus if you just build the antenna and you connect just to the coax with the shield and the braid, it's just going to be what they call a mono band antenna. It's primarily just going to basically tune just that band that you target.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to be more multi-band and be able to say build have that 138 feet of wire tune 40 meters, 20 meters and 10 meters and 6 meters, then you get yourself a balun to go with it, or ladder line. You could do ladder line too, and then put the balun in between it. So it's different ways to do it. I would just say, go out to sites where they have baluns and get the specific balun for the type of build that you want to do. You know what I mean? So balance, they really work, man. It's a very good tool to convert unbalanced line to balanced line. So
Right, right, right.
it
Okay.
really works, man. Really
All
works.
right.
It's good stuff, brother. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
this was some good stuff, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. You got anything you want to promote, man? You want to tell us about your work? Y'all got to check out his photography, man. It have you
Well,
thinking you on vacation. If you go to his QRZ, I wish I should have prepared for this. I could do a screen joint, but I like to be prepared
yeah,
for that. But if you
that's
go to
cool,
his
brother.
QRZ page and you scroll down, there's some birds, right? I think it's birds, whatever it is, type of bird. And if you stare for like 2 minutes, man, you think you like you on an island mine. You think you're like on the island mine, like and then you'll snap out of it and be like you back off of vacation again, man. So look, you need to check out his stuff, man.
Man.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. You just stare, just stare. Just like
Brother,
that, I'm telling you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. I love photography. That's my other hobby, and I go around the neighborhood, man, and just snap pictures. And I got some shots of the moon. I took freehand, just clicking up at the moon, with the big telephoto lenses and stuff like that. And I just love it, man. It's just, a life, man. Just have fun, enjoy yourself, man.
Right,
In life.
right. Yeah.
Have fun in this ham radio experience, man. This hobby. Always remembering to be ambassadors of goodwill, and hey, tell your friend and bring them all along. And hey,
Yep.
man, listen, 7.210, the Saturday morning session. Make sure you guys tune in, to the Saturday morning session, man, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. To 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, man. And we get out there, man. It's the official ambassador of Goodwill Net, and we have such a great time out there, brothers. So I had fun, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, bro. Look, man, I enjoyed myself, man. This was some good stuff, brother. I'm glad you
Yes,
came
sir.
on, man. And one thing I can appreciate, man, just the way you sound on the radio, it's the same way you sound on here, man. I know this is video, brother, but you're
Yeah.
5'9" plus 20 out this mug, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
man.
You about a plus 20, maybe a plus 55 or something. Like, you up there, man. The audio is good, man, and I can appreciate somebody who does live shows. I can really appreciate everybody's
Right.
audio, man. It don't be somebody using a mic, and I'm not downing it. If you don't have a mic, you don't have a mic.
Right.
But everybody that I've done a live show with, man, they all have great audio. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate
man,
you for
that's
coming
great,
on the
brother.
show, man. And
Yes,
we
sir.
gotta
Yes,
do
sir.
this again, man. We gotta do it again, man. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
we'll
sir.
make sure we do that. I know you mentioned, you said something about you might be you working on your YouTube page.
Yeah, well, I got some videos out there already. It's going to be under my old call sign. Okay, when I was a technician in general, it's going to be my old call KJ4 Zulu Mike Victor Ham Radio. So I did I believe a couple of unboxings of some radios. My 5000 in the back over here. I have that. I did an unboxing of this guy right here. That's my my B station. And
I'm gonna zoom in. Let me take a quick zoom in on that, man. Let's check it out here.
go ahead, brother.
All right, let's take a quick zoom in on this B station. Yeah.
That's
All
the
right,
B.
yeah.
That's the B station right there. That's not the A station. The A station is over here though.
Oh, okay.
So we got a couple different stations that we have that we run.
Okay.
But I did an unboxing of the 5000, man, which is a fantastic radio. They don't make these anymore, and I got this guy as it was supposed to have been my retirement gift from working for the United States government for all the years that I put in, but instead I have another retirement gift. That's a different radio, the 101 MP. So, but yeah, we have fun in this hobby, man, and that's what it's all about, brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we help each other out. So
Indeed.
I enjoy
Indeed.
it.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
trying. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I might have missed, man? Because it goes so fast, brother.
Yeah.
Time goes so
I think
fast.
we covered a lot, man. We covered a lot, man.
Yeah,
You know, it's always when we get offline, we like, oh, you know what? There's one more thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the purpose of episodes 2s and 3s. After that, you know, we come back to it, man. And that's definitely something I'm
Absolutely.
gonna have you do, come back on here, man. So
Hey, I
appreciate you coming
appreciate it.
through, man. I'm gonna have you stay on when I log off here. But just want to say, everybody, thank you for viewing. Thank you for the support, because you know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
all about y'all, and you know, I can't do it without y'all. And the you know, join the Black Hand Radio University Facebook group, man. We post a lot of stuff on there. You know, about just getting your extra general. It's more like a learning Facebook group. So that's
yeah,
why I say the Black Hand Radio operators, they kind of go hand in hand, because you're getting the kind of the best of both worlds. And both on that group too, you do a little learning, you do some learning too. But it's just, two is better than one, man. I'd rather have two pieces of gum than one, man. So basically, you know, just continue to look out for updates, and you know, joining us for whatever video, you know, whatever live shows we have. I will keep you posted. And I'm looking at let's see, Chris said, I'm looking at a photo of Delta Loop antenna on the vehicle. Wow. Okay. Wow.
nice.
All right, brother. All right. All right.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody watching, and you know, mad respect to everybody who got a ham radio, man. Get somebody, do me a favor, just get one person in the ham radio within the next 2-3 months if you can. All right.
Yeah.
So we saying out. Terrence, stay on, man. We're gonna be out here. We appreciate y'all, and we out. Later.
Yes, sir.